the capabilities that once you show up in that interview and you can talk through all those things, you will jump to the front of the queue and in people they want to get to. So all these processes, please go in and start downloading what does Shell want in engineers, what does Total want, what does Nestle want, Nigerian breweries, banks, and start pulling together and be able to get those skill sets to put you in the door, be able to talk about it. I think that is the key you need, and will be a good resource for you to say, okay, these are YouTube videos you can watch. You may not be able to access those software. Some of those software are very expensive. You won't be able to have access to them now, but at least you can watch the YouTube, you can read their website, you can read the process manual and be able to talk about it and get those opportunities.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Yeah. So I think just on the final note on that is that like Funshot also tried to touch on it. The softwares are good. It's good to understand, to have a knowledge of the software. But I think the most important part is, what is the software really doing, right? So HiSys, Unison, Pro 2, the pipe sim, pipe flow, Olga, and all of that. What are they really doing? So those things are doing the same chemical engineering calculations that you are doing in school. So how do you do the flash calculations? How do you do the flow simulation of in a pipe? Though that's exactly what those softwares are doing. And if someone is discussing with you and you are able to explain what those things are, then the understanding of the pipe of the simulation becomes easier for you to do. Okay, so take the time, right, to be able to connect those things together. So understand, start just like Laulu has mentioned, take the time, go to YouTube videos, watch how the system runs, and then try and relate it back to what you're doing in school. So if you watch a YouTube video of a HiSys model for a refinery, for example, or a contactor, then you can relate it back to the multi-phase separations that you're doing in school. So you understand where those elements go in. Okay. All right. So one more question, maybe you can I'll take a stab at this, and then also maybe someone else can then help out. It says, does one's place of NYSC affect one's future career? So I would say definitely no, because your career is determined not by where your NYSC is. It is determined by you. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And how do you make the best use of the opportunities that you have? I'll use myself as an example. I served, my NYC was in Benue State, in a place called Adigbo, London. I could remember the first time I entered the place, there was a communal crisis. And when, as I was going to where my house was supposed to be, I met a group of people coming with guns and everything. And then they said, oh, Copper, how are you? You are not our target today. And in that, it was discouraging. I knew people who immediately, they saw the name, they just started crying. But I made the choice, right, to make the best use of that time. And what did I do with that was I taught in a secondary school. I taught chemistry, I taught physics, I taught mathematics. And because of that, I built a relationship with those students, such that even after I left, many years after, some of them were still trying to get in touch with, trying to contact me through different means. And so that period was a time that I spent to try and think about many things, about what do I really want to do, what should be my next step after school. And that period was because after that, I don't think I've had any period where I could actually say I'm relaxing, or I want to take time to think. Since we left school, that 1 year was a time to just be on my own and try and plan what the future would be like. So opportunities is what you make of it. Wherever you find yourself, you can there's always a good side to it and there's a bad side to it, but what you take out of it depends on you. All right, so it should, where you go to serve should never be a blocker for your future career. That would be my advice to you. Okay, anyone wants to share one?
No, I served in. I think I mentioned it. I was in a. Sorry, Tokwe. I was in a village, and I remember, just like Babalola, after they gave us the place, I was in Enugu State, and I was given to serve in Umualo village in issues of local government. Everybody wants to serve in Enugu. Yes, some people may end up serving in Nigerian bureaus and they stay in Nigerian bureaus. That's fine in Enugu. But I was sent, I think me and Toko were both in Enugu anyway. So we were sent there. And by the time I took the bus to this place, I said, oh, this is the last place the bus will stop. There's no bus going to your village. You only take a bike. So I then went another 1 hour bike into the jungle. And as we are going, I noticed I was looking at electricity wire. As long as we have electricity wire, there's lights. And then electricity wire stopped. So I knew that there was nothing in there. But like Babalola said, it was a great time of, if you have a heart to it, you serve and you serve as unto the Lord. Those kids were just amazing in that secondary school that I was teaching. They want to learn. I was teaching from JS1 to SS3. Math, because there's no teacher. So I was teaching maths for JS1 to 3, SS3, I was teaching chemistry. And those kids have a passion to learn. And it was a good time after school. I was just there in the village. All I hear is cricket. I could think, I could pray, I could do what I want, and I could prepare and plan for my future. And I think it was a great time. And like Bawala said, that kind of quiet time, I'm longing for it. You can't get it. It's not easy to get it anymore. So yes, it does not affect you. Prepare. Once you are prepared, you go further. Some people say that EU aims at the sky, shoots higher than aims at a tree. Use this opportunity to prepare for big things. And when you are out, you can outrun people that are ahead of you if you do it very well. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we served in the same local government, not in the same village. I mean, we were so far apart. We only saw once a month then. I think even back then, that was 2005. I think if I wanted to go to his village, I would have to take bike. I think it was like 500 naira or something. That was like how many? Almost 20 years ago. But I mean, it's what you make of it, right? It's what you make of it. I mean, another interesting thing I did when I did my NYC, I learned how to ride a bicycle, which was interesting. But I mean, it's really what you decide to make of it, no matter where you serve. I mean, I also served in a village. I taught maths and chemistry to senior secondary school students. But I mean, as Laulu and Babalola have said, it was just time to really think about your future. And one of the things we used to do, I think at the end of every month, we'll go to the town, go and browse, go and look for information. I think then we're both looking at going for masters abroad, so look for information on those things. So it's not, even if you serve in a village, it's not a time to be wasted. And also you can spend time reading books. It's just to really think about what you really want to do, and yeah, plan for your future.
Okay, good. Thank you. I think that's all the questions that we have from the chat. Dr. Agbede, do you? I think we already overshot our time. We spent 2 hours, but it's been a very interesting 2 hours. So maybe